Hey everybody, I want to take a second to talk to you about the Mana Traders series. Mana Traders is now sponsoring the channel, RW Hobbies, or RW Makes Magic, helping me get all the decks I need to make the videos that everybody wants to watch, so really appreciate that. But another big thing that's awesome about this is I get to play in the Mana Traders series, which is an awesome series. Best prizes online at the moment. 15,000 monthly payout, that's to all their players, free entry. It's open to all, even non-Mana Traders users, but the Mana Traders users, like people subscribe, get 10x prize multipliers, so you get a lot more prizes if you're subscribed. And honestly, it's really hard to play Magic Online nowadays without Mana Traders. I was one of the lucky few who could keep doing it because I had a large collection from before they started, but there's not very many people like me left that just have an old collection on Magic Online, and honestly, even with that old collection, it was still really hard for me to change decks and keep trying out new things. And now that I have, Mana Traders back, I feel like I'm gonna be able to do a lot more videos, do a lot more with the thing. And honestly, I don't think you can get into Magic Online without using it nowadays. I think it's just a must-use. And if you want to get subscribed to Mana Traders, you can help out the channel by using code A22EN when you subscribe. You get 15% off, be eligible to play in all these series. Even get to battle against me on there. So, should be a lot of fun. And remember, I'm going to let you get to the content now, but remember, if you would subscribe, it would really help the channel. So,
hey everyone, Connor, I'm back again, and we're in the top 8. So, I made the decision to concede round 7 because I was already locked at 6-0. I decided that just getting some rest and having some time to get lunch would be better for me than playing a match that didn't really matter. So conceded that round, and now we're about to start the top 8. We're the 2 seed, and we're playing against an honest thief. We were lucky enough to win the die roll, so let's get started. Hands a mulligan, hands a mulligan. Opponent is taking some time deciding on their 7. We're going to mulligan this 6. They decided to mulligan as well. This hand is acceptable. It's not stellar. They are also on 5 cards, so I don't know what they're playing. I maybe should have taken the time to look them up, but it doesn't really affect my game 1 decision making. They're not a Yorion deck, and they're not a Luris deck, which rules out a lot of the format. Those two are just, even after the companion, they're still kind of everywhere. So with this hand, we're obviously looking to scry another land to the top with our Temple of Mystery, and hoping that we can just leverage this planning and dig through time to get something going. We would like one of these to find, obviously we want to find a second land. We're going to want to find a Thespian stage eventually, but if we don't find a stage, then this Vizier could do a second Lotus impression. Opponent seems to have like a really difficult choice with their 5. So, alright, we are underway. Pretty good. Okay, looks like this is a mirror. So thankfully we were able to win the die roll. Our opponent does have a grazer, so that's kind of not great, but let's see if we can hit a land here. We do. Alright, hopefully there's a hidden strings in our top 2 cards. If there is, we can win. We can probably win next turn because we'll have copy into pour into dig through time. If we don't, we might spend a little bit of time digging for, depending on what our opponent does this turn, we might spend a little bit of time digging for a Fae for Alpine Moon. Alright, that's interesting. Start by cycling Vizier. They have 3 cards. I think that we kind of just have to cross our fingers and hope we're not dead. We have 5 mana here, so we could dig. If our dig found exactly Strings Fae, we could win. But I think that that's like pretty ambitious. So I'm just going to copy with Stage here. Just casting the Sylvan Scrying to get cards in our graveyard and thin our deck a little bit. And then, yeah, hopefully we don't die here. If we don't die, I'm pretty sure that we've got them beat. Okay, so they have 5 mana here. So we could pretty easily be dead. Yeah. This doesn't look great. If they have Strings plus Pour here, or Strings plus Fae, then we're in a bad spot. Playing 3 Lotus Mirrors today in only 7 rounds is kind of a lot. Played one in round 1 that y'all didn't see. Okay, Pour is good, but fortunately for us on this board, it is minus a mana. Alright, and they do send the turn back to us. Attack with the Grazer, Honest Thief. Tick Through Time is not a bad draw for the turn. Opponent asks us to whiff and spare them. We'll see if the deck is feeling merciful. Gonna take Vizier, Fae of Wishes here. Alright. That should be that's a really good one. I'm gonna take Strings Satyr there. Let's see, so from this point we have 8 mana, 9 mana, 13, 14. So we can gamble here, or we can just play. I think the play is going to be 8 mana. We're just going to get Alpine Moon into play, I think. Then we're going to copy our Lotus and say go. We should be in a pretty good spot now. We essentially just nuked them back to the Stone Age. Opponent is letting me know that they got Alpine, that they didn't add Alpine Moon to their deck. It's pretty funny. So they pick up another Lotus if they want it. They might just put it put it in their graveyard. Alright, opponent gets in for a cheeky point of damage. That should do it. So then we have 6, 9. We're kind of in the same spot, actually. Kind of in the same spot here. So we have 9, 13, 14 mana. So unfortunately, we are still in the spot of, like, we can resolve Omniscience, but then we need this planning to find something. And honestly, I don't love being in that spot, so I'm just going to planning again. Take dig through time. Five, 9. So we can dig here. Gonna take strings poor. And we're still kind of in the same spot. I can't really think of a good way that our opponent gets out of this. I guess if they were to draw Blast Zone and then just have the nuts after that, we're in trouble. But I don't think we were capable of winning that turn. So I think I'm fine just passing here. And I don't know. Alright, that doesn't kill us. They're just going to pour here? No, just granted, sure. Probably for something that destroys Alpine Moon. They're dead next turn. Yeah, Void Snare makes sense. Alright, and now the game's pretty academic. Go ahead and get Jace. was planning ourselves out here. All right, and then we got game one. Now, going to do the same thing that I've been doing in the mirror. Just going to bring in a thought distortion. Opponent told us, I mean, this is definitely someone I've played with and talked to before. I don't think that they're like trying to level us by saying that they don't have Alpine Moon. I'm going to believe them on that. So I'm not going to bring in my Wilts, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to bring in my Wilts. I'm just going to bring in Thought Distortion, take out a Satyr Wayfinder, and call it good. Even if my opponent's a thief, they're an honest thief. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some people bring in Niv Mizzet out of the sideboard. As we saw in our one of our, I don't remember what match that was. I think it was round 4, but I just don't think that that's very good in the matchup. We were just able to beat them through it. Of course, our opponent that round did, I think that they punted by going after our, I'm not excited about this hand, but I'll keep it. I think they punted by going after our Vizier instead of our face. But still, I'm just not super impressed with Niv Mizzet. I think it's pretty slow. Just going to get rid of a Fae. We don't really need those early. Opponent and I both on 6. There's the Lotus. Don't really want that at this point. At this point, we're really just looking for Thespian stages. I would love an untapped land here just to play Satyr Wayfinder out next turn. Opponent just goes and grabs either their Lotus or their stage, whichever one they're missing. Oh, they get Blast Zone, so they have both. Okay, that's good to know about. Opponent's got the better at strategic planning. I'm punting. My plannings are going to be much worse. Alright, let's just get Satyr out there. Blast Zone of our own. Unfortunate that we lose the Thought Distortion, but that's alright. My plan next turn is to just get an Alpine Moon in play if our opponent doesn't do anything disruptive here. Okay, they don't. So let's play stage, strings. Yes, yes. I would like to cipher. Cast granted. Now, we do know that my opponent has Blast Zone, but this does make them take up a whole turn using their Blast Zone, so actually they can't Blast Zone next turn because these don't make 3 mana anymore. Whoops. And then we can still copy our stage this turn because of the hidden strings. Alright, and go ahead. Feeling pretty good about this game. Opponent's only got 3 mana this turn, so we can probably start going off next turn. We'll see, I guess. If they were to go like if they have a Void Snare in hand or a Blink of an Eye in hand, they could start going off. Okay, they just play a Naked Fae of Wishes. Alright, so we have some time here. Alright, looking for a Strings. Any way to go up on mana, really. There's a Strings, and that should honestly be good for this game. Just being able to peer here into, you know, they could have a Mystical Dispute, but we can pay for that, right? Yeah, we can pay for a Mystical Dispute, so I think we're just good to win here. Opponent says, feels like race cars, but you've got more race in you. I sure do. I got a lot of race in me. Alright, so with that Hidden Strings, we can pay. I don't think that our opponent has Mystical Dispute, but if they did, we could pay for it. So, can just resolve Omniscience here, give our opponent the GGs, and then go ahead and grab our Jace. Alright, we're planning to just get all the remaining cards out of our deck and then Jace target us. Alrighty, well, there we have it. Somehow we've gotten really lucky today. We've won 3 mirrors, and we are now into the top 4. So I'll see y'all for that. Back in a bit. Alright, hey everyone, we are back for top 4 of the Pioneer Showcase Challenge. Almost just said Modern there. I've been playing a lot of Modern the last few days. But we are on the play, so let's get started. This hand is solid. It's not stellar, but pretty solid. We would love to scry an untapped land to the top here so that we can Sylvan Scrying on turn 2. But we have all of our mana and we have some payoffs once we get set up, so definitely don't hate this. Sitter Wayfinder is not what we want to see. Fabled Passage sort of implies Omnath to me. Looks like a Lotus Cobra. Oh, a Caryatid. Okay, so this looks like Niv Mizzet now. which is not something that I'm super worried about, to be completely honest. If I get slaughter games here or in game 1, then I lose. But barring that, we should be in a pretty good spot. Sure. Just going to get our stage out there. It's kind of coming back to bite us that our first 2 lands came in tapped, but that's all right. We've got a pretty good shot to win next turn, I think. Hopefully our opponent just taps out for something like a Niv here. Oh, thank God. I was getting scared there that we were going to hit a slaughter game with our opponent tapping 4 mana like that. Cool. Alright. Third Hidden Strings doesn't lock things up, but comes pretty close. Actually, that might just lock things up. Yeah, because we're at 14 mana now. We just go ahead and granted for Omni. Cast Pour. Cycle a little bit. Alright. Now we're going to get Peer into the Abyss. Can Peer again, go down to 5 life. Granted for Jace. All right, pretty easy game 1. Niv is one of our better matchups, so pretty happy to see it here. Going to consult my handy dandy Caleb Shearer Breach Guide. I said Breach Guide. Oh my God, I keep forgetting that this deck isn't Breach. It is. We don't have Lotus, or we don't have Underworld Breach anymore. I'm just going to bring in Niv Mizzet and Jace here. Really, all that we're trying to play around is slaughter games, because if they can slaughter games our Fae of Wishes and run us out of win cons, then we're in a bad spot. So, going to do this, and I will be right back for game number 2. All right, back here for game number 3, or game number 2, sorry. Opponent's on the play. We're going to go ahead and put this hand back. It doesn't really do a whole lot. Especially when I'm on 7, I will mulligan hands where planning is the only cantrip card. This hand is much, much better. Let's see, opponent kept 7 cards, so probably going to be pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. Alright, let's just go ahead and get our Lotus. Pass the turn. Alright, not really scared of a small Teferi. That doesn't really do a whole lot against us. Looks like opponent might be digging for lands. Okay, no, they've got a Triome. Solid draw, very good draw. So we're lining up to have a pretty strong turn 5 here. Now, our best draw off the top would be something like... Okay, so this looks like a Bring to Light. Not sure if it's going to go for Slaughter Games or... Okay, it's just a Niv Mizzet. Drew 4 cards. It's good that we know about Dovin's Veto. It's always a good one to know about. Now, oh my god, the deck has done it again. That was the best draw on the deck. So what that does is it lets us copy plus strings this turn, which means we can also pour and just try to go off here. Okay, let's just... We've got 7 mana, let's plan. Gonna plan here. Pick up Fae, even though that's not very good against Slaughter Games, but they might not name it. That could be a mistake, I'm not entirely sure. Then we'll just get our Arboreal Grazer into play. So, not the best combo turn. Didn't find any more Pour or Strings or Peer into the Abyss, which we kind of needed to keep going. But we've got our mana set up pretty well. To be honest, I thought we had a good shot at it that turn just because of how many cards we got to see, but I don't know. I'm not super optimistic at this point. They're probably going to Slaughter Games us. Hopefully they don't have another land so that they can't Slaughter Games plus Veto. That would be pretty nice. But we can still beat that if they do. Okay. So they're going to Slaughter Games us here. Probably discard Nahiri or another Niv Mizzet. Going to cast Granted. Just trying to bait out the Dovin's Veto here. Yep. And then I'm just going to copy Thespian's stage and pass the turn. Yeah. I'm going to do this in their upkeep in case they have an Assassin's Trophy for my stage. Alright, no trophy. So we've got 10 mana going into next turn, and hopefully we have the opportunity to just draw half of our deck. They're knocking us to 14, so it's going to put us pretty close to lethal, or to dead. But I think that we do just do it. Kind of have to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised to see them like slaughter games us in response. That could be something that they do. If they don't have a counterspell for this. If they have a counterspell, then we're in some trouble. Alright. Yeah, this game's going to be pretty tough to win. We're going to have to get pretty lucky. So they're going to slaughter games us in response. I'm very happy they're doing this in response instead of after it resolves. See what they name. They might just name Pier, or they might name Fae or Hidden Strings or something like that. Okay, they do name Pier. So this doesn't do anything, but we still have outs to just win the game next turn. We can draw like Pour Over the Pages. If we draw Fae of Wishes, there's probably something that we can do. It's going to be tough though. We're going to have to get lucky. Hopefully we spike either a Pour or a Dig Through Time off the top with this Temple. Not that one. The good news is that given that Pier didn't resolve, their clock right now is a lot slower. If they don't add to it, we've got at least one more. If they don't add to it, we have at least 2 more draw steps. So we will see what they're able to put together. Yeah, at this point we're just kind of at the mercy at the top of our deck. It's possible that I went a little bit too hard on turn 1 or on turn 4 when I drew the Vizier and got a little bit too married to just going that turn. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Okay, looks like opponent's doing something in our draw step. Let's just get a Blast Zone. Let's just kill the Niv Mizzet next turn. Make it so that we're not dead. Gives us at least one more, hopefully gives us one more draw step. I don't know if opponent plays anything that like deals damage here, but if they do, then we can die to that. Was this like some sort of Lightning Helix? No, Lightning Helix isn't legal in this format. Nahiri? Yeah, Nahiri doesn't do a whole lot, I don't think. Oh, Nahiri might let them just reanimate Uro this turn, yeah. So that puts another card in their graveyard, and then if they need a green land here. If they, actually no, because this can't cast Uro, so we're fine. For right now anyways. Alright, put 4 counters on that. Go ahead. We got one more draw step. Alright, can I get a dig through time off the top? Dig through time, pour over the pages. We would also accept Fae of Wishes for Ugin, Spirit Dragon. Of course, if our opponent has anything here, if they have another Dovin's Veto, I don't think that they will. I'm pretty sure they only play 2 or 3. Pretty sure they only play 2 or 3. If they draw a Rakdos' Return here, then we just die. But that's alright, we're not beating that card anyways. What could this be? I wonder if this is just another Niv? Wow. Okay, that's really good. Poor. Damn. Okay, I've never seen that card before. I guess opponent heard that I was coming. So, to deal with that, what I think we're going to do is just bring in a couple blinks of an eye. I think we can cut a satyr. And another grazer. Just have these blinks. Alright, game 3. Always love a good game 3 for elimination from the tournament. If you're watching this, you may already know how the match turns out. Don't tell me, okay? Hand's not good. Hand's pretty good. I think we're going to ditch planning out of this. Let's think. So we're obviously keeping. What did opponent do? So they kept 7. Yeah, I don't think that we need the planning, to be honest. Almost just clicked Yavimaya there. These spell lands throw me off. That would have been a disaster. Alright, just going to get a Lotus here. I could, in theory... well, no, I couldn't do that. Never mind. Alright, turn 2 Caryatid. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get stage. Three Viziers, geez. I think I would still just rather copy here and pass. I don't want to commit too much on this turn. Like, yeah, we could spike a kill there, but we would have to get pretty lucky, and those cards are probably winning us the game no matter what we do. So please just tap out for Niv Mizzet. Alright, hopefully this could be a Slaughter Games. We could beat Slaughter Games. Okay. That's a problem. Not going to play the Scry land here because we could draw Blast Zone. I want to draw Blast Zone. Alright, I guess we just need to build up enough lands to cast Pour over the pages. The hard way. This card's really good against us. Alright, what'd they find? They put Despark to Fairy and Bring to Light in their hand. Not going to block. Not yet, anyways. What does Despark do? Target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. So that can snipe our Jace or... It's just target permanent, wow. So I can get our Jace or our Omniscience late in the game. It's a pretty good one for them to have. So this looks like a Bring to Light. This one's probably going to hit Slaughter Games for Fae of Wishes. Because Fae of Wishes would be really good here. We could just grab like Anger, wipe their board, and then combo. Still, we do have Niv Mizzet, so we're not drawing completely dead. Yep, Fae of Wish is gone. So we need Niv Mizzet. We also have Jace in the deck. So our sideboard is gone. We don't get that this game. We're still playing Magic though. Still lots to do. Lavinia must also be awesome in the Niv Mizzet mirrors. It's also really good against like Omnath and Lotus Cobra. Card just seems really well positioned in the format right now. It's a good find by our opponent. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Start by scrying. We do not need another land. Not yet anyways. We might down the road to cast this Pier, but... Alright, that might be able to lock up the game. Let's find out. All right, how many hidden strings have we used? We've used 1 hidden strings. 3, we have 12 mana here. So I can just bounce this. And then Pier, hit a strings, and then win the game. Cool. What a game this was. We will cipher. Alright, so from here we just need to draw our entire deck. Shouldn't be much of a problem because of how much mana we have. I'm just going to show them the Jace. They might concede to this. Yeah! Yes, let's go! We beat the hate card, and we are on to the finals. See you there, just a minute. Hey everyone, back for the finals here, and I'm really excited. I don't really know what my opponent's playing. Haven't gotten any information about that. Actually, cut that. Looks like $100 difference. Yeah, no, I'm willing to just play for it. All right, Zach, I'm gonna start my intro now. Wanted to just check prizes before I decided whether or not to split. Hey everyone, we're back for the finals here in the Pioneer Showcase Challenge, playing Lotus Field, and we're looking at a pretty good hand here, so we're going to go ahead and keep it. Wow. 3 Grazers in the opener is quite a few. Probably won't end up needing all these. This looks like they're just some 4-color Omnath deck. Glad that I decided not to split now. I think that this is going to be overall a pretty favorable matchup for us. Alright, so looks like they've got Reclamation in their deck. That's good to know about. Now, something that we do need to keep in mind when we're playing this matchup is that they usually play 4 main deck Mystical Disputes, and so we really need to make sure that we're not playing into that too much. Luckily, we do have these 2 hidden strings, so not really in danger of that being an issue. Just going to take Temple here. Let's play our Boreal Grazer. Normally I would take Thespian Stage, but I think that with how much mana we have with the 2 hidden strings, Temple is perfectly acceptable. We do not need the 3rd hidden strings. Looks like we're about to get explosioned. Opponent might just have a big Shark Typhoon. Yeah, now we're getting explosioned. Alright, let's see if we can draw something. If we draw Payoff here, like if we draw Fae, we win. Not guaranteed, of course, but alright. Pier is almost a guarantee. Alright, up a game. Going to take a second here to just look at what these decks have been looking like lately. Alright. Their cards that matter are going to be counter spells. So Mystical Disputes and Dovin's Vetoes. I'll bring in one Wilt. If we manage to snag a Reclamation, that's pretty good. And if not, we can just cycle it. They kept 7 very quickly. Our hand is solid. We have our mana. We have a cantrip and a payoff. I'm willing to keep it. Because their main way of fighting us is Mystical Disputes, I think that I just want to take the time and make as much mana as possible. Kind of planning here. I think planning is better than scrying. Pier's the more powerful card. That's honestly a pretty hard decision. I'm not sure which one is correct there. Just gonna grab Thought Distortion. They don't put a land in there, which means they've just got a bunch of spells in hand. Okay. Suppose they could have another Growth Spiral here. They could have Brazen Borrower. Just put it in and start clocking us. Brazen Borrower is not very good against Fae of Wishes, though. Okay. That's too bad. So they're able to escape their Uro now, which is pretty bad for us. Means that they can like get a clock down, but I think that's I think it's still all right. It's a pretty slow clock, all things considered. Yeah. Alright, here's the plan. We're going to Thought Distortion them, hopefully get a couple Dovin's Vetoes out of their hand. Wow. That's a hand. That no longer exists. Alright. So what now? What now? What now? We're just going to rebuy this Dig Through Time, plan to dig next turn and go off. They have 3 looks at a piece of counter magic. Even if they find it, we're not dead. We can still just, you know, keep fighting. Okay. I'm at 14. What they do with their Teferi is going to be pretty telling here. If they tick it up, they probably found something good. Either a dispute or a veto. If they tick it down, then we're in pretty good shape. They're probably just going to tick it down because it doesn't matter if Teferi stays on the field for this matchup. Okay, looks like they're just using Teferi plus Omnath as a divination, sure. Okay. We'll start here. We want to make mana right now because we have a lot of payoffs, so we're going to take these 2. We would really love to see a Hidden Strings at some point. Once we find a Hidden Strings, I think we're going to be in good shape. Okay. Strings. Strings. Pour. Pour. Strings. 24 mana. Thought Distortion. Distortion you. Granted. Jace. Jace. Planning. Planning. Jace. Yeah! Woo! Oh man, we did it. Oh my god, we won. This deck is incredible. I didn't lose a match all day. Had a perfect 9-0 run. Wow. This is I don't know what to say. I know it's just a challenge, but this is like, I've lost in the finals of a few tournaments this year, and today I'm the winner. No one can beat me today. This deck is great. Play this deck. I'll see you next time. Oh man.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations to Brian Mars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counterattack here, Ari Lax.